Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Aye. Let's start the show. What's going on here? What the fuck is going on?
What are you
I
doing?
don't know. I was trying to do some things before we started
Oh
the
my
show.
God, he
But
fucked
hey,
it up. We're gonna have to start all over.
I quit this fucking show. I'm done. You know what? Hey, guys, sorry about that. I was trying to multitask. I didn't get home until 7:45 from baseball and all this shit. But hey, it's 9:00. It's Wednesday. That debacle's over. And we're here for the Mike and Mish show. It's your favorite thing to do on a Wednesday night. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on? You could have just asked your brother over here to help you out. I'm here. You know what I was doing? Talking to Big Ben on the phone. That's what I was doing.
You want to know the honest truth, Mike? I just completely forgot about all the things that I do before the show starts right there. I just completely forgot about all the other stuff. And anyways, dude, we're back. It is Wednesday fight week.
Yeah, we're doing something we don't normally do on fight week.
Dude, fight week, BKFC 61 Mohegan Sun in just 3 days from now. All the fighters are showing up in Connecticut. It's very exciting for us. It's close by. We got the weigh-ins on Friday and the event on Saturday. On a scale of 1 to 10, Mike, how excited are you, sir?
Like a 9.
9.
Annoying.
Oh no, I am. I'm very happy about the outcome of some fights were dropped off, but they picked some back up. Everything kind of worked out in the end. We're going to talk all about this. We got 3 guests for you guys tonight. We got all 3 fighters are going to be on BKFC Fight Night Omaha coming up. Is it next week? Mm-hmm. Next week in Omaha. They're back in Omaha. Our first guest is Jeremie Holloway, who's going to be fighting Dakota Cochrane in the co-main event. And then we got 2 guys that are going to open up the card. Meyer and Eduardo Peralta are going to be fighting each other. First fight of the night out in Omaha. So we're going to talk to each one of those individuals separately. We're not going to have them on here bitching at each other.
Unless they really want to do that.
I guess if they really wanted to, they could. Yeah. So let's go ahead and shout out our sponsors because Holloway is going to be on here in a minute and we're going to get this show on the road. Our first sponsor is, the shit. The ones that's getting everybody jacked around here. Right, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Bucked up energy, bucked up supplements. They are top notch. They are high quality supplements and great sugar-free energy drinks. Go to buckedup.com, use the promo code Mike and Mish 20 and get 20% off your total purchase, and you will thank me later. I promise. I use all their products. Well, not all of them, but I use a plethora of them every single day, and I'm feeling great about it. Up next,
Dynamic Life, sexual health, weight loss, and anti-aging. Retake control of your life by reaching optimum health. Visit www.livedynamic.com. It's the only online platform where you can become a patient in under 20 seconds. Also, check out their Instagram page at Live Dynamic. That's L-I-V, no E, Dynamic. Do it now, not now, but after the show.
There you go. And go ahead and get that Mike and Mish stack. Get the bucked up supplements and head on over to Dynamic Life. Live long, live strong. Strong like bull in the bedroom and strong like bull in the gym. Bucked up, Dynamic Life, the Mike and Mish stack. What's up? Let's go ahead and start up the show, Mike. Our first guest is in the virtual green room, ready to rock, I think. He's in there staring at us through the screen.
Virtual greens room. All right.
In the virtual greens room.
Virtual greens room. Listen up. When we come back, we will be joined by Jeremie. Hit him. Holloway. Let's get it.
There
What's
he
up, man?
is. What's up, brother? Can you hear us? He can't hear us, Mike.
You might have to back out and come right back in. Heyo, this show is doing real well.
Yeah, it's
You know
wildly
that
out of
one
control.
of my pitchers over here fell over and busted. Jeremie, you're gonna have to back out and come back in.
Yeah, I'll send him a message. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here tonight. It's fucking wild and crazy. But I'm messaging Holloway right now. Oh,
Wild and crazy. Yeah, while we were sitting here, one of my
he
pitchers
backed
fell
out.
over and just went all over the place. Busted, fell. That's what happened earlier. when you were
So
talking.
Mike got caught in the middle of a hailstorm this afternoon.
I did. I had a weird event. It was pouring rain, thunder and lightning, and then all of a sudden, so I put my windshield wipers on, and I put them on high, right? They're going real crazy. And somehow, with a wet windshield wiper, that shit rubbed the windshield and slowed down. I don't know how it happened. It like stuttered. And the passenger side one went over that windshield wiper and just ripped it right out. And it plastic went all over the place. I was like, oh, great. It's pouring. I can't see anything. And one windshield wiper is underneath the other one, just stuck. So I get to my street, and then all of a sudden, it just started hailing. Probably the worst hailstorm I have ever seen in Rhode Island. Like, I'm talking about, like, them, what are they called? Fireballs?
Yeah, little fireballs, little cinnamon fireballs.
They were a little bit bigger than fireballs, and they were just coming down like
They
crazy.
fuck your car up at all? The paint? Did they like ding your car at all?
I didn't even look. I got out one right in the house, and I thought about it when I got inside, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even going back outside. I'm not doing it. It was pouring.
You thought you were under attack.
Yeah, it was.
All right, let's go ahead and bring Jeremie back in here. Let's see if we can do this again. Here we go. Jeremie, hit him, Holloway. What's going on, brother?
On, fellas.
Oh, there we go. Now we can hear you. Welcome back to the show, my friend. You are back. You are getting back into the BKFC for the third time in 9 months, and we're excited to see you back in there, bud.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to be back, man. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Shout out to Andy Hall for giving me a call. So step up.
Yeah. You know what I think it might be, Jeremie? Maybe the Wi-Fi or something. You're a little choppy, my friend.
Yeah, you connected to Wi-Fi right now?
I am, but it's something connected to it. Let's see.
Really?
Maybe
you're a bit choppy. You're chopping up right now. We can't really hear you that well.
What about now? What we got going on?
We can hear you. Your video's a little laggy, but we can hear you.
All right. So, hey, let's go ahead and do this, man. 3 fights in 9 months for the BKFC. You're really loving this stuff, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, now you sound great. All right. So, with this said, I know that you had a really great MMA career before stepping into the BKFC. Is the MMA career officially like on pause, and this is what you're doing now?
It's more of those things, to let the chips fall where they may. I actually got into MMA starting off as a boxer. Where I came from, there wasn't much for me to get into besides trouble. And the nearest boxing gym was like 2 hours away, so with no transportation and just a dream, I had to find something to do. So I actually ended up walking into an MMA gym, and that's how we got started there. For me, it's just basically going back to the basics. This is something I've always loved. Boxing has been my first passion. Granted, it's bare knuckle, but I feel right at home.
And you always hear everybody say, this is not boxing, it's bare knuckle. How different is it coming from a boxing background before you got into MMA, coming from a boxing background, now that you're training for bare knuckle fights? Like, how different really is it when you hear that, right? You hear people say, well, this isn't boxing, it's bare knuckle fighting. So what would you say? Is it really that different?
For me, oh man, it's just so natural. I mean, I grew up as a kid fighting all life, from being bullied to protecting kids that were being bullied or just fighting, just getting into shit. So um, there is a difference because I've seen some great boxers come into this sport, and it's different when you have those knuckles, man. Like it's one thing to get hit with a padded eye, whether it's 4 ounces or 8-10 ounce boxing gloves. When these guys get hit with those, it's something totally different, man. You see it on them in the moment.
You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear. It was breaking up a lot. I couldn't tell if he stopped talking or not. So going into this matchup, what do you think about your opponent here? You're fighting Cochrane. He's got a little bit of some background here. He's fought some great fighters in this sport. What do you think about him?
He's very seasoned. I think he's got a lot to offer as far as with him being ranked. Again, he's been around since BKFC, I think number 6. I mean, he's fought Lieben, he's fought Richmond, he's fought some great guys. I think his last outing, I think he put Noah Cutter away. So definitely grateful for this opportunity. I'm not looking past him, but I am looking to make the most of this.
You fought a lot of tough guys in your career, but Dakota's got to be the most experienced fighter that you've ever stepped into a professional arena with. Would you say that this is the most the biggest challenge that you've seen as a professional fighter?
I wouldn't say it's the biggest challenge, but I would say it's definitely going to be in the top 5. This guy's had over 40 MMA fights. He's 5-2 in the BKFC. He hasn't been stopped really, other than I think the fight with Richmond due to a body shot. But even through his MMA career, like the guy's pretty solid. For me, I look forward to the challenge, honestly.
Who are the guys that you rank above him? Who are the guys that you faced that you were like, holy shit, these guys are gonna be tough?
Junior Sunsao, he's kind of tricky. And then me cutting the 55, that was a good factor because that cut was not very well. And then Mark Stevens, another kid, he was at ATT, Florida. He was pretty solid. Gave me a few problems, but once I figured him out, it was pretty much touch and go from there.
You fought Chaos Williams too, right? He had a long run in the UFC. He's a tough dude.
I would to say him next. That was probably one of my toughest fights. In that fight, we fucking lost my mouthpiece before the fight, so I'm using a fucking boiling bite. And that was a funny story, bro. Like I basically had no mouthpiece for that fight, and I got caught in the first round and fucking pushed my teeth back. So,
man.
Yeah, bro. But we thugged it out that fight, man. It was a great fight. Just really wish I would have had more in the tank for that one. And those are one of those go back and do it over again. You totally would.
Yeah,
boiling bite.
The boiling bite. Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember those boiling bites.
I don't wish that on my word.
You had to run to Walmart real quick and run to the sports area of the Walmart and pick up a $20.
It was bad, and then microwave to boil it at that. So imagine that. By the second round, at this point, like fuck it, man. The damage is done.
We were down somewhere, Mike. When was it? I can't remember where we were, but somebody lost their mouth guard, and like they were
in Virginia.
Yeah, and they were asking us if we could try to find a box.
Oh no, I was thinking about Kyle Wright's mouth guard.
No. Remember, we were like really trying to help whatever team it was. Try to find anywhere around that actually sells real boxing mouth guards.
Oh yeah.
And we ended up not finding one, and they did the same shit. They had to run to like a Dick's Sporting Goods and buy like a fucking $20 mouth guard.
Oh,
for a bare knuckle event.
In a bare knuckle event, yeah.
Alvarez. Was it Alvarez?
Daniel Alvarez?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was him.
I don't remember. Did he win that one?
No,
I don't know. We'll have to go back. Our brains are kind of fried.
I feel like that might have been that last-minute fight, if I remember correctly. But I remember Scott Farley being part of this whole thing. So I think it was Alvarez. And I think it was
Scott.
Man. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't want to put out the wrong information, but I think that's what it was. But
I wanted
man,
to
that
ask you
cannot be
this,
good.
Jeremy. You're going into
Yes, sir.
your, like I said before, you're going into your third fight in 9 months for the BKFC. Like, can you just like put how much have you learned from the debut fight to the second fight, and now stepping in there for a third time on 9 months? You've had quite a few rounds of bare knuckle action already. Like you went to war with Van Camp, and you went the distance with Santiago. So you've had 10 rounds to learn. Um, how are you approaching it a little bit different nowadays now that you've had the experience of the first two fights?
Timing, man, timing is the big thing in this one because every time I go back and I look at the fights and the film, it's like missing big shots by like mere inches, and it's basically on the timing, that and the punch placement. Just being smart about where I put my punches so I can stay active as well, and have my hands throughout the entire match.
Are you still training with Tony Soto?
Yeah, we actually got some rounds in today. Got
Yeah,
some good rounds in today.
I don't see much posted. And I went on your page. I'm like, there's not a lot of posting. You're not posting a lot. I'm like, that's where we get all our information from.
Yeah, man. Here lately, man, I've been so focused. Like when I got the call for this opportunity, because originally I was supposed to be fighting at 65, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I guess he waited about a week or two, and they decided to go in a different direction. So Dakota was like not a last minute option, but he was kind of thrown in there. When I was already walking around in the mid 70s, and I was like, yeah, we'll do this. Because who doesn't like to eat, and the training for me is a lot more comfortable. But the training has been the thing. Wanted to put on some muscle with that time that we had, so we were doing 2-a-days, and still picking up the boxing as well.
So what is your walk around weight, if you don't mind me asking? What do you walk around, 185 around there, 190?
Right now, since I've been training, getting ready for this, I've been between 82 and 86. But as of Monday, started priming so we can start cutting, for next week because I got to fly out there. So I've been taking off right at a pound a day. Woke up today at like 82. I'll probably wake up tomorrow at like maybe 81, 82 again.
Oh, that's got to feel pretty damn good that you're probably going to fly out there and only have to cut about 4 or 5 pounds, maybe.
Well, that's the idea. I never want to have to cut too much when I'm flying out because a lot of the times, like we were down in South Carolina, there wasn't a big cut. Even when I flew out to New Mexico, I floated most of that weight off. So this camp was a lot better. I feel like in terms of me having to move up to 75 versus when I got the first fight at 75, we had a little bit of weight to cut. So this allowed us to focus on other things and add some more pieces to the puzzle. I felt like, needed some work.
So you just said you were supposed to fight at 165. Now you're fighting at 175. If you go out there and you beat Dakota, who's a ranked 175er, are you up for like staying in that division and taking
Definitely.
fights at 170? Yeah,
definitely. Like I was telling someone, I was out at the LA show this past weekend, and shout out to everybody that followed my card. That was a great card, minus the injuries and the mishaps for the main card. But feel for things, bro. Like everybody's chasing Mike Perry, and it's fucking embarrassing. I don't know what they feel like they're going to get out of him other than I feel like they're just chasing a check. And nobody's really going after anybody that's in a division. If they can get anywhere close to him, they're asking him for a fight. I'm going after whoever's next in line until I get to Dave. I want to stay at 75 ranking from Dakota. I'm staying there, and I'm going straight for the title.
I like that. I do like that. The 175. So like you mentioned Dave, and a lot of people want to see Dave and Mike Perry fight each other, of course. But I believe Mike's gone. I think Mike's not coming back to 175 ever. I think he's comfortable at 185 or bigger. And so everybody should move on. And with that said, you saying that, and there's other 175ers. Mike Richmond could come back down to 170. That division could be very interesting if everyone just forgets about, like you said, chasing the check, chasing the money fight. Forget about that one. focus on the 175. I think that division could be super interesting if people just focus on who's actually in it, you know?
Yes, sir.
So Cochrane next week, when they called you, when you were supposed to take the 165-pound fight, you didn't say who was going to be against, and you don't have to, but when that fight fell off, were you expecting a phone call? And if you were you expecting a name like Dakota?
Man, when I'm dealing with Andy Hall, because that's who hit me up with the opportunity. Because the first guy was coming straight out of Bellator, you know, and he had a pretty extensive. He was pretty impressive himself, and not to downplay Dakota, but with this guy's stature as far as his height and reach, I felt like he presented more of a challenge. Because I have a hard time dealing with guys with the extensive reach, but it really didn't matter, man. I just wanted the opportunity to stay active. I know I could fight at 75. I'm comfortable at 75. I carry the weight well. When I seen the extensive record, I was up for the challenge. That's something good on the resume. We go out there and we do what we feel like we can do and we execute. I got that one.
Man.
Now, hold on. And Mike, you have us wondering now, and I mean, you have at least me wondering, Jeremie. You said it was a straight out of Bellator, taller, longer guy. Had he fought in the BKFC before, or was this somebody new coming into the BKFC? I'm just trying to put on my detective fucking shield now and figure this out.
Off of reference, really quick, I believe it was going to be his debut.
Okay.
I think he was.
Right.
For a bout, and the bout had gotten canceled. Actually, yeah, that's what was it. His bout had gotten canceled, and he was supposed to fight the year before, I believe, or in 23. And then, like I said, his bout got canceled, and they were trying to match us up for this bout for this date for the 17th.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just like with another guy, same thing had happened with him back in like fucking January. It's supposed to have been for March. They're up, they up and just, I don't know, find other shit to do, I guess.
Jeez.
They bounced on you, basically.
Yeah.
They found out they were going to go against Holloway, and they said, forget this shit. I'm out.
Man. I'm here to help everybody get a check, like step up, let's help everybody eat. One hand washes the other. I got nothing against you, it's not personal.
Just not a knockout of the night bonus or a performance of the night bonus, right? Just their check, not any other check.
I mean, whatever happens, happens.
You don't want to be too helpful. Let's not be too helpful, right? Don't want to be too helpful.
No, sir. Never that. Yeah.
Jeremie, you've been around and you fought in a few organizations, but what can you say about the BKFC so far? How's it been fighting 3 times in 9 months? I would imagine that you're having a good time, and I know that Andy Hall is the man. We love Andy, and I hope we see him this weekend at Mohegan Sun. I don't know if he's going to be up here, but BKFC is finally in our neck of the woods, Jeremie. So we're going to be at Mohegan Sun this weekend. But talk a little bit about the organization as a whole. How you liking this thing?
Man, I'm totally loving it, man. Like, I've been to a couple shows, and like I said, the show out in LA was fucking phenomenal. From the production to the card, like the venue, like everything was dope, man. And I can say the same thing even for the smaller venues. I went to a show in Virginia, the same thing. Everybody's professional. They put on great shows. The crowds always come out, man. They always get in. They're always engaged with the fights. It's great. Great energy.
Yeah, and Sosha in between fights, like he is a good hype man, right? That dude fucking really gets the crowd going. Like you said, the crowd is super into these events. I think the energy in the room is unmatched, and the production value is top notch as well. But how did we not see you in LA? Where the hell were you the whole time?
Man, I was in the back, man. I was playing the scene. I got out there the day of weigh-ins. I made it to the mock weigh-ins, and from there, we chilled out a little bit. Had to make my way to the front the day of the fights, because that line was ridiculous. But yeah, we were sitting in the fighter area. Me and my coach came out, and I was just honestly just looking, scouting, getting the feel. And that's where I got my eyes on Dave, and he's been in my head since I seen him at the hotel. He was talking to he was talking to me when I walked in. I was checking in my room. I don't know, it just felt like I needed to stare at him, man. And now I got a rush on him, so now I got to come after him. Hopefully, he'll stick around if Mike doesn't give him a diss, and we can tango.
Well, I love that, dude. You got a real tough task in front of you next week, but a win over him definitely put you in the conversation in that 175-pound division. Before we wrap it up with you, how do you see the fight with you and Dakota playing out? Do you see this thing going a few rounds? He, like we said, he is very skilled in the sport, tons of experience, has fought a lot of tough guys. How do you see it playing out between you and Dakota Cochrane in Omaha?
Man, with the fact that I've been able to stay active like I have, and like you said, I'm getting the feel for it. Once I find my range and I start connecting, it's inevitable, man. I'm looking for the finish. So, in my eyes, it's going to be a stoppage. I expect him to bring it, of course, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm here for all that shit.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait. I think we have a graphic for the fight, right, Mike?
Yes, we do. Of course we do.
There it is, everybody. May 17th. This is the co-main event, correct? The co-main out there. Yeah, you broke up for a second there, but everyone, make sure you get on the app. Make sure it's probably going to be on Fubo and multiple different outlets. So May 17th, Dakota Cochrane takes on Holloway, Jeremie Holloway. Do you have any final words for anybody that's going to be paying attention May 17th?
Hey, you guys, make sure you tune in. Don't blink. Be sure to follow me at Hit 'em Holloway on Facebook as well as IG. Shout out to my sponsors, Eric Ortega, Rooftop Adjusters. Also, my boy JP Pressure Washing. You know what I'm saying? Get them guys a shout out and a follow. And Mike and Mish, man, thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for coming.
Pretty
out.
sure I'll see you guys be out there. If not, we'll catch up.
Yeah, and tell your manager, don't be a stranger with us. We haven't seen Tony in a while.
I know we haven't seen Tony. Tony's not with the company anymore, but he's
doing
his thing.
Not that dude. He's always he's saying on it, man. I apologize for that because, man, I mean, he posts me more than I post me, bro. So dude's definitely keeping me active, me relevant. So shout outs to Tony as well, man.
Hell yeah. Good shit, dude. Thank you very much for coming on. And we will be tuned in May 17th. Best of luck to you. Mike, you got anything else for Jeremie?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Get on that social media. We got to see more from you, man. I was on your page. I want to see more. So, yeah, it's good that Tony's doing that, but definitely want to see more of you.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We'll see you next week. This weekend, Connecticut. Hopefully you'll be watching Connecticut, and we'll be watching you next week. Everybody stay tuned. We come back. Brandon, Beast Mode, Meyer.
See you, buddy.
Later, Jeremie.
See you.
he is. There he is. Beast Mode is on the show. What's going on, Mr. Brandon Meyer?
What's up, y'all?
Welcome to the show, dude. How are you?
Thanks. I appreciate it. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Hell yeah. Man,
Listen.
oh man.
I feel like I just watched you fight.
Yep.
You did.
I know. I know. We just you are back. You're back in there next month or next week in Omaha, but we just saw you fight in March. You look great. You got the win over the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I mean, Josh Alvarez. I mean, Fames.
Yeah. All the above.
Yeah, all the above. So you're back in there, dude. Is that the plan? Try to stay as active as possible for the company this year?
Definitely, man. I want to stay as active as possible. As long as I stay healthy and these knuckles are healthy, I'm ready to put them on somebody's skull.
Before we go forward, we have to talk about Josh Alvarez. We have to talk about Fames. What was going? Did you guys have beef before that fight? Because if you did, I wasn't tracking it.
Nah, we didn't really. It just kind of spur a moment thing. Like he was standing. You know, we were having the face off, and then you know, he told us to face the cameraman on the front, right? So I go to turn, and he don't want to turn, and he's just still mean mugging me. So I look over at him and he keeps mean mugging me. So I just, you know, put my forehead and pushed him with my forehead, and he slapped me, and I busted him in his shit. I mean,
all right. So for people watching, let me play the video real quick, and then we'll come right back and we'll talk about it.
And this is your feature fight of the night. Don't blink, you'll miss a lot of action in the squared circle. Welterweight division, Fames taking on Brandon Meyer.
Before you say anything, the person in the crowd, do you know who was yelling there? Because they were like, "Oh,
I have no
my
idea.
God. I heard.
I seen that in the comments. There was hella people talking about it in the comments, man. Like I got more comments on that video than any video I've ever posted on Instagram.
Nice, good. It was good.
I gotta tell you, it was two impressive haircuts up there, staring each other down. Two very impressive haircuts, and I gotta say, there's been a lot of incidents on stage at a lot of weigh-ins for the BKFC, but I don't know if I recall anybody popping somebody in the mouth like that before. I was a little surprised.
Well, I mean, I've always felt like a slap was more disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it was just, I didn't even think about it. It was just, I mean, you get slapped, you punch somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
right. You get slapped, you punch somebody. Somebody spits on you, you kill them. Right. That's the
right. I mean,
that's the rules.
I'm always going to try to do worse.
You know, I feel like you did pull the punch though. Like you went.
I did. You know what?
And you pulled it a little bit
was like
for sure.
Split second, like I was like, "Fuck! What if I drop him right here?" And they, you know what I mean? They call the fight off. I get fined. You know what I mean? It all happened so fast. I didn't really have time to think.
Crazy.
You definitely did though, because as soon as you were about to make connection, it almost seems like you didn't follow
I
through.
did. I was wondering if anybody would like. I noticed it when I watched the video.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. It was like a last second thing, man. But
you kind of got him really good.
Well, hey, one way or another, you got people fired up for that fight. And I gotta tell you, man, I think a few people may have won some money on you that evening because you were you were the underdog. And I had a few friends of mine saying, "Hey, if you were gonna bet on an underdog tonight, who would you pick?" And I was like, "I'll tell you who I'd pick." And I told them you. I was like,
hell yeah.
I'm pretty damn positive that I'm gonna be right on this one. And
I appreciate the confidence.
Hell yeah. Talk about fighting at that venue. Before we move on with you, because Mike and I had gone to the weigh-ins for the first Miami card this year back in February. The event was at Hollywood Hard Rock, but they did the weigh-ins at that place. and we thought that place was cool as hell at the weigh-ins the first time. You guys actually fought in front of a crowd there. What was it like fighting outside at that place?
It was actually pretty badass. The way that they set it up made it feel like it was inside, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
We've
But-
been there once before.
And it was so nice out that you know what I mean? It wasn't hot, so we weren't like super sweaty and like uncomfortable, prior to the fight or none of that. So I loved it. Like I said, I'm actually originally from Fort Lauderdale. You know what I mean? So my early years, I remember in South Florida, and then I grew up in the Midwest, and then I went back to Florida when I was 18 to like 22. So I've always loved Florida. So it was like almost like a homecoming.
And now you're back out in the Midwest again, right? You're out in
Yep,
Iowa?
I'm fighting. Omaha is my hometown. Well, Council Bluffs and Omaha are like right next to each other, but Council Bluffs is like a suburb of Omaha.
Oh, so you get the win in Miami. Did you hear about this Omaha card coming up and like seek out a fight and like let them know I'm ready to fight, or did they hit you up and say, hey, we got a card coming right?
They definitely hit me up, but I figured I'd have a call coming.
Okay.
I figured I'd have a call coming. If BKFC is coming to Omaha, they're gonna want beast mode on that card.
So you'll have a huge crowd out there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have that place packed.
That's fucking awesome, man. Good for you. And you're fighting Eduardo Peralta, who hasn't gotten a W in the BKFC yet, but he's fought extremely tough competition.
2 really, really tough opponents. I'm
Right.
not underestimating this guy by any means.
Yeah, I was
He
gonna say,
fought
can you
Dakota
talk
at
on that a little bit?
175.
Yeah. What the hell?
And then I think
And then
he fought.
HD, right?
He fought HD at.
HD
Did
at
he fight at 65?
I thought it was 55.
Was it 55?
I could be wrong about that, but either way,
It might have been 55.
his 2 fights are fucking Dakota Cochrane and HD Davis. Like, that's nothing to sneeze at right there, you know?
Yeah, no. I'm fully aware of the pedigree of those guys, and like I said, I'm not taking this guy lightly.
Is this a lightweight bout or a 160?
Yeah.
This is a lightweight.
It's lightweight. Yeah, it's lightweight.
So that's your home. Like you stick.
Yeah,
at
definitely. I
155?
mean, I walk around like 165 to 170. I'm not. I could probably fight at 45 if I really wanted to make a weight cut, But I've made big weight cuts. I've walked heavier and made the bigger weight cuts, and honestly, I didn't really notice a huge advantage that it gave me or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, fighting and walking around lighter and closer to my fight weight, it's like less mentally taxing as well as physically taxing, because you're not, you don't got that worry of the weight cut in the back of your mind and counting numbers and all that. So, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable at 55.
And you get to set the tone for the night. I always wonder how fighters feel about their placement on the card. Some people want to be on the main card. Some people don't give a shit. But I always think like the person that fights the first fight of the night basically sets the tone for the energy in the room for the rest.
Is that
of the
where they
night.
got us in the lineup?
Well, right now, I don't know. I don't know if that's where it is, but like if you look it up online, you guys are like listed as the first fight.
Huh.
That could be completely wrong. I don't know.
I do know that we are like on the undercard. I didn't make it to the main card on this one for whatever reason. I'm not gonna think about it too much. I'm just gonna go do my job, put this dude away,
right,
and show him that I deserve to be on every main card. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a main card fighter.
Well, you go out there and you do it again, and you win again for the second time in 3 months. Now you're really on everybody's radar. You know what I mean? Now you're really on everybody's radar, and people better like start recognizing Brandon Meyer, because before, everybody gets talked about, but you aren't a name that everybody really talks about. You know what I mean? Until you start making noise, and winning 2 fights in 3 months is definitely a way to do it. Then you find yourself on every main card. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. Most
But
definitely.
what I was saying though, like the main advantage of fighting first is you go out there, you get the job done, and then you get to hang out with all your people and watch the rest of the card. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It is.
that's the best part of fighting early. That is the best part because me personally, when I fight on main cards or main events and stuff, I don't like to go out and mingle and watch the fights and do none of that. I'm in the back getting my zen on. You know what I mean? I just don't like the outside mental stimulation of that. Some guys do. Some guys can go out there and laugh and joke around with their family and all that stuff. But I've never been the type of guy. I've never thought about it as like a sport, whether it was an MMA fight or a BKFC fight, which it is, but I don't think about it mentally like that, man. Like I feel like I'm going to war, and I'm trying to put this dude away, and it's serious to me, and I ain't no laughing matter. I'm not joking. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's why I'm
feel
serious at the weigh-ins. I
feel
don't
like
want
you're
to
hard to
life
deal
you.
with on fight
I don't
week?
want to meet your family. I don't want to fucking take pictures with your wife. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Oh,
I'll
man.
shake your hand after the fight, but until then, I fucking hate you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Do you feel like you're difficult to deal with during fight week? Do you get really like, don't come near me with everybody, or just
no, I'm not like that
opponent?
with my people around me in my life or anything like that. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about like, I've had fighters in the past that like they kind of got like friendly with me, and that kind of humanized them. So I feel like it kind of affected certain decisions in certain fights. Like I feel like I could have been way more vicious, but for whatever reason,
Yeah, like it took the edge off somehow.
yeah, like I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah.
I'm a real emotional fighter. I feed off the crowd. I feed off my fans, and so yeah, that's why I'm like that.
Brandon, I'm looking at the card right now, and you are sharing the card with some hammers, dude. This is a fucking, this is a good ass card.
Ryan
yeah.
Braun.
Dude, Ryan Braun's on there. You got fucking Stanislav Grosu and Alonzo Martinez. Sean Wilson's on there. You got fucking Dakota and Hedem Holloway, Dustin Pig, and Trinidad Snake.
Yeah.
But you also got Bobby Taylor on there
Yep.
against Ryan Roberts. Sarah Shell's back. This is a fucking awesome card. You guys got a banger out there.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a card. I wish I could get out there. I've never been out to Omaha. That's like one of the few shows like that. It's one of those few locations that the BKFC has frequented, and Mike and I haven't made it to a single one of them.
Able to line it up.
Yeah, you guys got to come out here sometime.
Right, we get to.
We got the one of the best zoos in the country. The Omaha World Series comes here every year. We got awesome places in the old market to eat and shop, and some pretty cool stuff down there. Like,
you also got Houston Alexander breakdancing, right? Isn't that out there?
Houston, yeah.
Houston. You got Houston Alexander out there breakdancing on cardboard and shit. It's fucking surprised he's not on this card.
Houston. Oh yeah, I think this is the first one that I've seen him not on the card.
Right. Yeah, he's usually like the main. He's usually like the mainstay out there.
Yeah, he's usually the main event.
Yeah.
Is he finally getting too old to fight? That guy.
I don't know, but he's still undefeated.
I know it. It's friggin' insane.
Yeah, doing it at 50. He's a savage, man. You know what's crazy is back in the beginning of my my MMA career, it was when he was doing his thing in the UFC, and he watched me fight a couple times. And one of my early amateur belts is signed by Houston when he was in
no
the
way.
UFC. Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
I've known him for a long time. He's seen me fight more than I've seen him fight.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy to have a conversation with too, because
He is.
probably because he's been around for so long, and like the older you get, the more knowledge you get. But like,
Yeah, well,
What?
he's also he was a DJ at multiple radio stations in Omaha
Right.
too. You know what I mean? So he's in different scene. He's also an artist too. You know what I mean? I've seen him multiple gyms doing like
graffiti
art and,
Yeah.
and stuff
Yep.
like that on the walls and stuff. So he's pretty active in the community. Pretty multi-talented guy.
You know, it's Big Ben. One of the guys that he drives the ring to the different events, and he sets up and breaks down the ring. He had told me this story before. Actually, he said Houston is the only person on the roster that stayed the entire night and asked to help break down the ring. That's pretty fucking cool. That's kind of a cool story right there.
Yeah.
And I could see that. But hey, you got Eduardo Peralta coming up. So just real quick, you spoke on the respect that you have for him and his opponents that he's seen so far. That you're not taking anything lightly. But how do you see a fight? How do you see this fight with Eduardo? Seeing that you've gotten to take a look at his first two bare knuckle fights with Dakota and HD, taking whatever you can out of those two fights. What kind of fight should we expect between you and him on May 17th?
I mean, really, it just depends on how he's gonna come. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring that shit. You know, I'm gonna take the control of I'm gonna dictate the pace right out the gate, and I'm gonna lead this dance. You know what I mean? And I feel like I can knock him out with either hand. You know what I mean? I plan on putting him away, but I'm ready to go the distance. You know what I mean? I'm ready for whatever he brings to the table, you know?
And without looking past Eduardo, if you were to get this win, and this would move you to 3-1, no, 2-1, 3-1,
3-1.
3-1. This move you to 3-1. What would you want to do next? Do you have like a person in the 155-pound division that has caught your eye and that like you have, envisioned fighting somebody in this division?
I want a ranked opponent. I don't really care. These dudes are all humans to me. I don't care what damn numbers in front of their name. You know what I mean? Like, give me somebody that's gonna put me on a path to the title. You know what I mean? I put this dude away. I show y'all I'm main card material. You know what I mean? I made my debut was a 1 minute knockout.
Mhm.
One punch. My only loss is to a guy that's got 100 fights.
Yeah. So, well, you know what, man? We're excited after watching your last fight. I was super excited to see that you're getting right back in there. I was like, man, fuck, no way. It's not even 2 months later. 2 months later, and he's back in there. Congratulations to you for getting a fight so quickly, and best of luck to you with Eduardo. I will give you a chance now if you want to say anything to your opponent or to the people that are going to be paying attention on May 17th. The floor is yours, and then we'll let you get up out of here.
I just want to say y'all tune in because it's going to be a fucking barn burner. If this dude brings it, it's going to be a fucking fight of the night potential. Even with all these big names on this card, don't sleep on beast mode, So I'm going to see all y'all out. I love all y'all that are coming out to see me. That's what we do it for.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much for coming on here. May 17th, everybody. There's the poster. Brandon Meyer and Eduardo Peralta on the Omaha card. It's a stacked ass card. Make sure you guys are paying attention because not only this fight, there's like a dozen other fucking bangers on that card. So good luck to you, my friend. Mike, do you have anything else for Brandon?
Dude, the card is stacked, and you're going to be the one to set the damn tone. I cannot wait. Like you said, people don't sleep on him because this last fight, I didn't hear a lot of people talking until after the fight, right? So we got to get people talking before the fight. Can't wait to see this. Eduardo's coming on next, so maybe stick around and see what he has to say about you. Maybe he comes on and has some different angle, but I don't know. I don't know Eduardo. He could come on and be completely nice and everything, so, who knows. But hey, thanks for coming on. We'll have you on again anytime. For everybody else watching, we're going to hit a Mundell interview that Kyle did down in, over in LA. And then we'll be joined by Eduardo Peralta. Take it easy, Brandon.
See you, bud.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Take it
Thanks
easy.
for having me.
No problem.
Hey, we're here at Knucklemania 4, star-studded event. We got the 175-pound champion, Dave Redneck Mundell, in the house. What's going on, brother?
Just another day in paradise, baby. Out here enjoying the fights. It's an awesome show and huge crowd, and I'm living it up.
All right, well, let's get right into it. I see this new belt on you. It's a different color. You have a familiar foe at the top of this card tonight, fighting Thiago Alves. What's the idea here showing up in LA with the platinum belt?
Listen, Perry didn't want the gold belt, so I made the platinum belt and see if he wants to come try to snatch this one.
I know that you want that fight. Is there any conversations going on between you and the brass that makes you think that might actually come to fruition?
I haven't heard anything, and it's very frustrating. And I've been calling for this fight for a while. They pull a guy who hasn't fought in 3 years over me. The one guy is like, if people can't see the fact that he is running from me right now, you're blind.
It is a fight that everybody wants to see. Real bare knuckle fans want to see this fight. You guys have history. It should be made. But you have been out of action for a while. Your last opponent with Dakota Cochrane. You're victorious once again, still the champ. Donald Sanchez has been asking for you. Is that a fight that interests you? And if not, if it's not Perry and it's not Donald, is there anybody on your radar that you'd be interested in fighting at 175?
I guess you can call me a company man because I am willing to fight anybody. Donald Sanchez or whoever's calling me out, I'm willing to fight. I'm there. Send the name over. I'll sign the contract and we can throw down. But the fight I want is Perry. The fight I deserve is Perry. And outside of that, it's whatever Feldman wants.
So with that said, Perry's fighting Alves up here. Are you secretly rooting for Perry to win this one so you can have him next?
It's kind of a weird situation for sure because I put some bets on that Thiago's gonna win. But if Perry does win, I won't care because at least then I get to ruin his streak.
Here you go. You have a teammate on this card tonight. Crystal Pittman's fighting Sydney Smith. You've been seeing the development of all the fighters in the Shift MMA gym. Shift is really creating some badass bare knuckle fighters in there. What are your thoughts about Crystal going in there against Sydney Smith tonight?
Man, she's going to come out. She's going to dominate. She's going to show everybody how hard she's been working. And it just... last minute opponent change. I don't think she realizes what she got herself into.
What do you guys say in that gym there? Hard work makes easy work. Is that what it is?
All work's easy work.
All work is easy work. Hey, final words. You made yourself clear here. You want Mike Perry next. Is there anything else you want to say to him, to the brass, to anybody that's listening?
Fuck Mike Perry.
There you go. 175-pound champ, the Redneck, Dave Mundell. Thank you for your time, buddy. Go enjoy the fight. Here he is, Eduardo Peralta. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the Mike and Mish show. What's up? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Eduardo, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey, can you
Hey.
hear us?
How you guys doing?
Are you in a sauna right now?
Hey,
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
We can't see. Okay. Your
Yeah,
connection is a
I'm
little.
in a sauna right now.
You are in a sauna.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your connection is
Can
not
you guys hear me?
very good. We can't really hear you. Let's see what happens here.
Them saunas are known for not having good Wi-Fi in them.
Can you hear us? Okay. We're gonna have to. Eduardo's gonna have to relocate outside of the sauna because your connection is no good, sir. We would love to speak to you. Travel outside of the hot room there and see if we can get a little better connection. Yeah, we gotta ask him. We gotta ask him about his opponent. So
Yeah. We just had Brandon Meyer on here. We got to hear from Eduardo. Come on now, Eduardo. There ain't no good.
you know
stories
that the
inside
Mike
that
Perry,
truck.
the Dave Mundell interview, the belt is beautiful.
Yes.
It is nice.
Yep.
And if I was Perry, I would want to take that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would want
But
that.
you know
one.
what? Hey, you know what happened last week, Kyle?
What's that?
That's it. I'm done. I swore off trying to get that Mike Perry.
I think
Mundell.
so.
I think I had to come to terms with it.
I
My
think
ass
everyone
was
does.
chapped, as I said.
Yeah,
and I cannot deal with it anymore. I think it's not happening. He just does not want to fight Mundell. He's not gonna fight Mundell, and that's it. He's just.
I agree with you.
I feel
I've
bad.
been saying-
I really want to see it, but what are we gonna do? I can't do it.
Right,
anymore.
and they're not going to force the fight. I mean, the BKFC is not going to force Mike Perry to fight Dave Mundell. You know what I mean? And as long as Mike Perry is at the top of the sport and being able to kind of call the shots, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for all the hardcore BKFC fans like us, we would all love to see that, but you know, I don't see it. I don't see it happen. Not with that big security guard around dragging him out of press conferences, right,
Nope,
Mike?
Never gonna happen. Not after that. It's over.
Hey, let's go ahead and try to bring
let's
Eduardo
do this
back.
again. Let's bring in. Hey, there you are.
Hello, how you guys doing? Can you guys hear me?
Nice.
Hey, yeah, that's better. What's going on, man? How are you?
Good. Just getting a little sweat going on. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah.
We are
Good.
good. So we just spoke to your opponent. He had nothing but he had respect for you because your first two opponents in your BKFC career are about as tough as you can possibly get. When you're pulling names out of a hat, Dakota Cochrane and Howard Davis are not easy days at work. You know what I'm saying? So he had a lot of respect for you and what you've done so far. What do you know about your opponent, Brandon Meyer, and what would you what do you have to say about him?
He's a scrapper. He's good. You know, he likes to bring the fight, and you know, I'm ready to go with him. You know, like I feel like this is gonna be an exciting fight, and I feel like we're gonna bring fireworks. I feel like this has potential to be fight of the night. I know what he brings, and I know what I bring, so should be fireworks.
Were you familiar with Brandon prior to the fight being offered, or once you were offered the fight and you signed to fight him, is that when you started looking into him?
Actually, they offered me a fight with him, like I would say like 6 years ago, MMA, and we were supposed to fight there in Nebraska, but I don't know why it fell through. But yeah, I've known Brandon. I know what he brings. You know,
Okay.
he's a scrapper. You know, he likes to bang. So do I.
So are you local? You're local out there then, right?
No, I'm from Kansas. I live in Kansas, right here. I live in Dodge City, Kansas.
Okay.
Really?
But I have like a lot of family over there in Omaha, so somewhat local, you can say.
Do you train with Caveman or Justin
Jake Lindsay?
Martinez and Jake Lindsay?
No, they're like
Jessica Link, like all them. Isaac Doolittle, those people.
No, they're like 3 hours away from where I live,
Oh,
so I
shit.
don't really get a chance to train with them. I live in a small town, like 25,000 people around there.
I live in Rhode Island, so like every other person who lives in any other state, I just assume like everybody lives near each other because the state I live in, I can get to anywhere in a half an hour. So I'm like, oh, you don't go train with those people? What are you talking about? They're only 5 minutes away from you?
Yeah.
They're two
it's a
towns
small
away,
town.
10 minutes away. That's my state.
Where Mike's from, you can drive from the east border of the state to the western border of the state in about 45 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah.
Maybe even faster.
Maybe, maybe even faster. Okay. You got your start in the BKFC.
Mhm.
Dakota Cochrane was the first one. Then
Mhm.
your second one was 20 pounds later against Howard Davis.
Mhm.
How did those two fights come? Like you're coming from an MMA background and they offer you Dakota Cochrane, you just take it, or is that like your normal weight class, or is this more normal for you?
I fought like 155, 170 around there. Try to fluctuate right there and around that way. And when they offered me Dakota, like I knew who he was, you know, and I know he likes to bang. So like I'm the type of person that I'm willing to fight anybody, you know, they put in front of me, you know. And I feel like the first fight with Dakota, I feel like I was winning that fight till the injury, you know. I freaking twisted my ankle and I feel like I was dominant the whole 5 rounds. So I feel like that was a good, you know, I got my feet wet a little bit. And with HD, you know, that night wasn't my night, and you know, but I'm looking forward to this one, and I feel like this is going to be an exciting one, the best one yet. And I feel like me and Brandon are going to bring a show, and that's what I'm going to bring.
Hell yeah. You got to give HD some props though, right? That dude is he's a monster.
Yeah. That guy, he's good and freaking lengthy, tall, and that guy's good. And
It blows my mind that he goes to 140, like that he's a 145er, because he's a big dude. You know what I mean? He's a big kid for a 145er.
for sure.
Yeah, he goes up to 155 and he looks big up there too. So, yeah, Brandon Myers, he just fought 2 months ago. Did you watch any of the antics that went on between him and his last fight? And you know, are you gonna watch it? You make sure you don't slap him during the weigh-ins so he doesn't take a swing at you.
Nah, I don't. That's not the person I am. I just, you know, give respect to my opponent. It's hard to go in there, and you know, of course, if he touches me, it's gonna be a different story. But you know, I have respect for Brandon and what he brings. You know, he's must-see TV. You know, like I think that guy shoved him. That's why he ended up slapping him or something like that. I don't feel like I'm gonna do something like that. That's not the type of person I am. But if he touches me, that's a different story. You know, but I respect to Brandon.
He slapped him in the face, actually.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We were just talking about that. What is more disrespectful, Eduardo? Being slapped in the face or being punched in the face?
Probably slapped. You know, that would hurt more. You know,
Why isn't it so funny that being slapped in the face is way worse than being punched in the face?
Yeah,
Someone punches you in the face, you're like, I'm fighting you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hold me down for that.
Yeah, that's what Kyle was saying.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The disrespect. I can't.
The disrespect. I've always said it, man. Like a slap, and like I said, dude, spitting. You ever been spit on? Oh my god, I have been like close to murdering somebody for getting spit on. That like spitting. You better kill me because I'm gonna probably fucking try to kill you.
Yeah, that crosses the line. You know? Slapping and spitting. That's crossing the line.
So
if you stab me, I'll forgive you quicker than if you spit.
Probably.
Dude, so check this out. Mike, do you remember this story? A couple of years ago, my son's in 7th grade now. So he had to be like third or 4th grade. And he's talking about this, a kid at school kept messing with him at school, you know, like pushing him around or whatever. It was like the kid was bullying him. And my son is just a sweetheart, and he wasn't doing anything back. And like he would come home from school, and I'd ask him how his day was, and he'd tell me about this one kid, and I'd be like, dude, he's gonna keep doing that shit to you unless you do something back. Then he's in the kitchen one night, and my mother-in-law sitting at the counter, and he's like, I'm like, how was school today? He's like, oh, it was all right. When we were getting ready to go outside, so and so spit on me, and I'm like, he did what? He's like, we were in line and he like pushed me out of line and then he spit on my shirt right here. I was like, you need to go to school tomorrow and punch this kid in the face as hard as you can. As soon as you see him, I'm like, go to school, hit him, and then get on top of him and keep hitting him until a teacher pulls you off. And my mother-in-law is like, Kyle, you can't talk to your kid. I'm like, I fucking talk to my kid however I want to talk to my kid. I'm like, this is where I draw the line. This kid spit on him. Fuck that shit, dude. Go to school and handle this. And he didn't because he's a sweet kid. And the next morning he was eating breakfast, getting ready for school, and he was like eating his cereal, and he's like, "Dad, do I have to hit him today?" I was like, "You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, buddy." I'm like, but that if I was you, I would do something about it.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, here's the outcome of the whole thing. My wife went to the school and talked to the principal and was like, I'm going to just let you know that this is going on between this child and my son, and my husband has pretty much greenlit him to fight him. So unless you guys do something, something's going to happen between these two kids. And like 2 weeks later, I asked my son about school, and he's like, "Yeah, we were outside at recess today, and we were doing this and that, and I was playing." When he names the kid, I'm like, "You mean?" I'm like the same kid that you were having all those problems with, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know what happened. We're like friends now." He's like the nicest kid in the world to me. I was like, "Oh, maybe the principal got to him or something." I don't know. I don't. But it's a line you don't cross for sure. Yeah. So hey, you're sitting in the sauna tonight. You're already starting to weight cut. Preparation for Brandon Meyer in comparison to the first two guys. You fought three like really different opponents now, with Dakota being the short, stocky scrapper, HD being the tall, lengthy, technical boxer. Now you're going in there with a kind of a slimmer guy like HD, but not so tall, not so long, more of a brawler though. Preparing for this one, is it a lot different than the other two, or is basically training for a bare knuckle fight all kind of the same?
All kind of the same, I would say. You know, my first two fights, I was still training like a lot of MMA. I wasn't focusing just on boxing. But this camp that I've been getting ready for, Brandon, I've been focusing mostly on boxing and my conditioning, so I can bring it for all 5 rounds. So I feel good. I feel confident for this one.
I always like do you notice like focusing more on like on body shots or anything more for the bare knuckle sport in comparison to like when you were training for MMA? Because I believe like body shots in this sport are so damn effective. You know, bone on bone to the rib cage is something dangerous. A lot of people get hurt bad by those, and even just like a precise jab in bare knuckle, you can cut somebody with a jab and end their night. You know.
Yeah, all it takes is one.
Absolutely. So go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna bring up something in the news right now because I want to know what you think about this. The Ryan Garcia thing. Do you follow boxing?
Not really.
No, so you don't know about so they do a drug test on a boxer, right? And the commission says that he failed his drug test. That's what's put out anyways. So this person in public is completely annihilated by everybody. He beat Devin Haney recently. You remember that? And then all of a sudden comes out, no, he didn't fail the drug test, and they came out. What do you think happens there? What do you think happens when it's put out that a fighter fails a drug test and everybody talks shit, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, he didn't actually fail it?
I think they're just trying to tarnish his name a little bit and make the win, probably like a no contest or something, make it less of a win, saying that he cheated. That way it was, since he beat one of the top boxers in Devin Haney. So that's what I think. They're trying to taint his name. And if the tests are negative, then there's that, and they're just trying to tarnish his name. And I think he should freaking sue for defamation and stuff like that, because that's
absolutely.
Yep.
You know what? And it's weird because once the second test came back and it showed no traces of anything, and they cleared his name, was it like the head of the commission resigned?
Yeah, someone resigned. Yeah,
she resigned like the same day.
She had to take care of her parents, but
well, there's that. There's the answer right there.
Yeah, well, she has to take care of her parents, but just so happens that she resigned on the exact same day that the second test came back clean.
Yeah.
So I think that Ryan Garcia definitely has a lawsuit on his hands for sure.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I wonder what. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
It's totally screwed up. Totally screwed up. I want to know what you thought about that. You know, we don't always ask those types of questions to the fighters, and you're in the sport, so it makes me wonder how you feel about something like that. Because I was like, that's fucked up. You know, this kid came out here. He played this game that he says he played a game all the way up to the fight. So people were hating on him and being like, he shouldn't fight. And then he went in there and performed way beyond what anybody thought he was going to do.
Beat the brakes off that boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. And then it comes out that he failed the drug test, and everybody's like, oh, that's why he did it. We knew it. We knew something was fucked up about this guy, and there was no way he could have done that well. I don't know what it is, man. It's like they don't want winners to win. Something's wrong,
Yeah.
Isn't VADA voluntary too? Like isn't that what it is? Isn't VADA isn't the voluntary anti-doping agency? Like he didn't have to. I don't know if he had to give them a sample, to be honest with you, but he did, and that's why he was like, if I was gonna fucking fail, why would I even have given you a sample? I knew I was clean. You guys are dirty, not me. And he was telling the truth, I guess. It's wild. A lot of dirty shit in this in the boxing world. But hey, before we let you go, May 17th, you're gonna be fighting Brandon Meyer. It's gonna be a banger. I don't know if you guys are starting off the card or if you're moving up the card, but either way, you're gonna be setting the tone on an evening where there's a bunch of bangers out there. What exactly should the audience expect between you and him as far as action and outcome of this, and how do you see it playing out?
I feel like it's gonna be, if we open the card, we're gonna set the tone, and I feel like we're gonna go, I feel like it's gonna go 5 rounds, but I'm ready for anything, and I feel like it's gonna be fireworks, and tune in because it's gonna be good.
And how does it end? Come on.
The winner right here.
There you go. Good enough. Any final words to anybody that's going to be paying attention? Do you want to shout anybody out or thank anybody? And right now is your time. We're going to give you a second. The floor is yours, and then we'll let you get up out of here.
I just want everybody to tune in. Everybody is around that area, Omaha, Nebraska. It's going to be a banger. Come show some love, and we're going to put some fireworks, and let's go.
There you go. Thank you so much for coming on, and we will be tuned in. We won't be out there like we were telling Brandon earlier. We've made it to so many events live. We usually go out there and cover them live. We've been to 27 of them, and Omaha is one of those locations that BKFC has gone to like 3 times now, maybe even 4 times now. I don't know how many times they've been out there, but it's been a few. It's just one of those locations we never make it out to, man. One of these days. So we won't be out there live. We won't be there ringside, but we will be watching on TV like everybody else. Maybe even have a watch party or something. And we'll be tuned in. So thank you so much for coming on here. And Mike, you got anything else for him before we let him go?
Hey, just like I told Brandon, we're going to be watching, man. I cannot wait to see this fight. It's going to be good. You guys are going to be setting the night. And like we told him, you get to come out, set the pace, and then you get to watch what happens afterwards. Like you're the first domino,
Yeah.
And you get to knock it over. If you knock it over fucked up, you can fuck the whole night up. So all the pressure's on you guys. All the pressure in the world.
No, all the pressure. No pressure.
No pressure, all pressure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So thanks a lot for coming on here, man.
I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Everybody else, stick around. We'll be right back.
Later, bud.
Hey, what's up, BKFC fan? This is Russ, a.k.a. Mr. Extra. Got my boy here, Carlos, CNC Management, #1 management team in BKFC right now.
Know that.
We want to give a shout out to Mike and Mish, #1 podcast in the fucking world.
Know that.
Ain't nobody touching them.
Period.
Love you guys. We're here at Clearwater Fight Night Clearwater at the Fighter Hotel. Waiting for the fighters to come in. Love y'all.
They love us, Kyle.
I like how Carlos is like the hype man. He's like,
That's one of the best parts of that video.
he's like, you know it. That's
Yeah.
right. Period.
The one. Period.
Shout out to Carlos too, because Carlos represents Eduardo.
Yeah, that's
And,
why I played it, because I knew he was in that video.
Yeah.
You know. Give
Did
him
you
some
ever
props.
see you ever see that video, or do we have that video of Kevin Smith and him? Where Kevin's like,
no, I
Kevin's got his arm around Carlos, and he's like, "Hey, I'm here with the number one manager in all of bare knuckle," and then he turns the camera away
He
from
goes,
Carlos.
how's it feel to be something, the number one manager in all of bare knuckle?
Oh,
And
that's
then
what he goes.
Carlos goes to talk, and he turned the camera.
Yeah,
I'll have to
there's
get that and put that up. We'll have to watch that. That shit was so funny.
He turns it on himself. He's
Yeah,
like,
he turned it on himself.
he's like, oh well, it feels pretty good. But yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
It was
dude.
a good one.
So are we gonna do an outside the circle tonight? Because I wanted to talk about a few things. Just a few things.
Yeah, I
Let's
saw
do
you
it.
wanted to talk about a few things. I didn't see it till about, I don't know.
We don't even
2
need any
minutes.
graphics, Mike. We don't
2
even need
minutes
any
ago,
graphics.
maybe?
We just got to talk about it because I
Just got to
believe
talk about it.
we just got to talk about it. So
Okay, first topic. Was this the most disastrous fucking episode you've ever seen?
yeah, it was
in your life?
like a lot of shit
This
happened.
entire episode from the very beginning, it was like an omen. It was like something happened that told me right in the beginning.
Yeah, everything was fucked up.
Yep, when it started, when the countdown stopped and we were on the screen, and then when we came back from the intro and we were the screen was messed up. It was just you, it was me, then I'm on the screen, whatever.
Hey,
From there on out, this whole show went to goddamn shit.
Also, this is I just saw who just wrote that?
Even my frame felt. Look at this.
Dude, Russ just said this, and
That my mic was low.
yeah.
But you know what? Joe Ivy said the same thing, and I figured it out, and I fixed it. And she messaged me and said, "You're good now." And then he comes on like fucking 40 minutes later and says, "My mic's low." I almost took this and threw it through the fucking window over here. Listen, look at. See this right here? It's supposed to have one of these trinky doodads on the back of it. I was just sitting here, right? In the fucking
Trinky
thing.
doodad.
Yeah, I was one of the standees on the back of this. Look at, where is it? I don't even see it. Oh, it's on the floor under the chair. While the show was going on, this fucking thing crumbled to nothing. And I just started laughing in the middle of the show because I was like, this show's already gone to shit. Now my house is falling apart around me.
Yeah, things were weird tonight.
I don't even know.
You know what we
what's going
need?
on.
We need this, Mike.
I do need Russia. I think that's what happened. We got vibrated into perfection.
Trinky doodads.
We were vibrated into perfection in LA.
Yeah.
And now that our
It's
vibrams
worn off.
are off, it's worn off, and now everything's gonna crumble.
Big Ben says, "What the fuck is a trinky doodad?"
That fucking tricky dude down on the back that stands at the picture.
a tricky doodad. I love it. Oh God. Well, dude, the first topic I really wanted to talk about was it happened Sunday night live on Netflix, and it was a breath of fresh air for fucking anybody that needed a good laugh in their life. The Tom Brady roast was fantastic. It was fucking great. And if you guys haven't seen it, I really, 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 really recommend going on Netflix and watching the fucking roast. And if you're easily offended by anything, then don't. And if you're watching this show, you obviously don't get offended by much. So you guys, I promise you'll love the fucking roast of Tom Brady. He is the GOAT. You can think whatever you want. Yeah, I know. Dude. He looks like a trinky doodad, if you ask me.
What is wrong with his face,
trinky
dude?
doodad. There was a lot of funny.
He did not look like that when he played against the Rams.
No, he
first
didn't.
Super Bowl in 2000.
Oh, even Julian Edelman. Dude, Julian Edelman talked about his doctor like fixing his face and adding hair to his head and shit. It was funny as hell. It's like one of his best friends talking about plastics. Oh my God, it was great. Who do you think stood out the most out of everybody was roasting him that night?
Nikki Glazer.
Nikki Glazer. She killed it. Absolutely
Yeah, she
killed it.
killed it.
And the two bears with the TV, like Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura with that TV behind them. When they put the picture of Brady holding the fucking football with his shirt off,
and he started laughing,
and they started laughing, and they couldn't handle it anymore. And like Kreischer's like, that's the gayest picture I've ever seen in my life. I fucking almost
and
died.
He was laughing. He turned around and looked at him. He went, "That's you. That's fucking you. You did that.
Yeah,
you did that. You posed with a football like this."
Oh my god!
In between his arms, he posed with a football.
It was great. Like all the comments about his wife, like what Swervo said in the comments there. All the comments about like her jiu-jitsu trainer, and like that, those were brutal. When Nikki Glazer, I almost laughed my fucking balls off when she goes. She goes, I've never been this close to him before, but has anybody ever actually seen how like beautiful this man is? She goes, that's my boyfriend out there of 15 years. I've been with that man for 15 years. She goes, but I would shoot you in the fucking face for a lottery ticket to be able to possibly suck this man's dick. I fucking almost died laughing.
Not even to do it, for a lottery ticket to do it. So she could just not even, there could be 1,000 lottery tickets. It could be 10,000 lottery tickets.
It was so funny.
That's good. That's a good one.
You know, I had somebody message me and say that they thought Kreischer was like the only funny one on stage, and I'm like, he was on there with another person. Like,
I thought it was funny, but I didn't think they even came close to.
Not even close. I thought it was funny.
Nikki and Tony.
Dude, Tony Hinchcliffe was the shit.
Smashed it.
Absolutely fucking smashed it. And then they managed to get Bill Belichick to roast him.
Yep.
They got
Peyton
Manning. Ben Affleck, Bob Kraft.
Ben Affleck, I didn't like.
Yeah, his was boring.
Randy Moss
but I'm
was
saying,
the worst.
Randy Moss was the worst.
The
for sure.
worst.
He was just begging for a ring the whole time.
It took too long. I was like, how many people are you going to beg for a ring? It's over.
Nah, that shit was funny as hell, man. So go out there and watch that shit.
About to get kicked off of YouTube for saying that. That's too much. You went too far.
Hey, topic number 2. And this is outside the circle, but we actually, the second topic was going to be Ryan Garcia, and
Ryan Garcia.
We could talk about that a little more. That whole thing. You know what's crazy about that is I watched Chael Sonnen talk about it yesterday. Literally yesterday, I watched a video that Chael did, and Chael's like, no B sample ever comes up different than the A sample. He's like, he just needs to come clean and blah, blah, blah. He goes, in the history of sport, has the A sample ever come up different than the B sample? It's not going to come up any different, and he's not going to be able to clear his name. So he just needs to clear him. He just needs to come out and just admit it. Wow, Chael was wrong, man.
He's way wrong.
He was way wrong.
I wonder what he's going to say now, because here's the thing. It came back and he's clean, and the problem is that everybody thinks he was dirty, and it really tarnished his name even more from before. And now, do you think people are going, "Oh, he was clean"? Like, how do people feel about him now? It's weird, right? Isn't that like one of those things where it taints the person's legacy at this point? People still look at it because if they don't get that news, they still got the other news, you know. It's like when they say, hey, this dude was looking up some kiddie porn and they raided his house, and then you come to find out like it was actually some guy driving up outside the house and just hacking into their Wi-Fi doing it. I've seen that story before where they kick the door in, they take the whole they take the mom, they take the dad, they take the kids away, and all of a sudden they find out like, oh, actually, no, some guy was just driving up in his car looking that shit up from his car. That was in a podcast one time. That dude's forever going to be a pedophile to all of his neighborhood because they didn't get the word that it wasn't him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ruins people's lives for no reason. I don't think it's going to ruin Ryan Garcia's life because he's very famous. But still, it did tarnish his name to a point.
Joe Ivy's in the comments says section. She says, I'm confused about the whole thing. It was my understanding that he tested twice for 1 PED, but that the third test showed negative. But I thought it was a sample, B sample thing. I thought it was they kept saying the B sample.
Yeah,
They're waiting
because
for the
he's
B
been cleared
sample.
of his initially positive drug test for.
And it was Osterine at first, and now it says something totally different there. So, you know what? Good for Ryan Garcia. I hope he sues the shit out of all of them and just gets more money, because if he is clean and he was telling the truth, I thought the performance that he put on in the ring was phenomenal. The mind fuck that he played going into the fight was incredible. And this whole afterwards thing, this whole aftermath has really tried to tear all that good shit that he did down. And yeah, I think you're right. He's got to fucking battle all that shit now. And that to me sounds like millions of dollars in a lawsuit. So good for him.
I guess they still see Osterine. I don't know, but it's a tiny amount, like a teeny tiny amount.
It's not an anabolic steroid, by the way, Osterine. That's a SARM. That's
what they detected.
Yeah, that's not even
sample.
That's not an anabolic steroid. So if anybody is saying that he's on juice, he's not. He's on a fucking performance enhancing SARM, if that's what was in his fucking piss. But anyways, move on from that. Yeah. We have an event coming up this weekend. And I know it's outside the circle, but we do have to talk about one fighter in particular that is stepping in on a couple days notice, and is fighting former Ultimate Fighter winner Mike Trizano. Huge shout out to Louis Lopez. He is stepping in on 4 days notice to fight Mike Trizano. And that's a huge opportunity for him. And I'm so glad he answered the call, because this fight card was like plagued, man. I felt like it was cursed. When Heather Hardy pulled out and we lost the Misfit fight, all kinds of shit started happening. He was supposed to fight Derek Campos. Derek Campos gets hurt. He gets pulled out. That guy, Louis, was it Gugno? Yeah. The former UFC guy. He was supposed to fight on this card. His opponent apparently was still under contract with some other fucking organization and should have never even signed a contract over here to begin with. There's like a lot of shit was happening. Then the heavyweight fight lost an opponent, and we almost lost that one. But lo and behold, Louis Rumsey jumps in, and he's filling in on that heavyweight card. And then this is the one that I was really bummed about. What they did was replace Derek Campos with a veteran, established, badass bare knuckle fighter. This made me so fucking happy, dude. This made me happy. Like, wow, I felt like they brought the card back. They brought it back to life.
Oh yeah, definitely, because there was so many issues with this card, as you were saying, and behind the scenes, it was like at one point I felt like there was only going to be 8 fights. Like that's how bad it got. I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? What is going on? We've just told all these people from work, we're passing out flyers all over the place.
Mike and I went to between me and Mike, I went to 9 that first night. And you went to a bunch of, like, we probably went to 22 bars between the two of us in one fucking day. And then I went to a bunch of gyms and handed them fucking things out. I went to the sub base and I was handing them out to all the Navy.
One to the FedEx guy today.
Right, dude. I went down there. I was just walking around the base, talking to kids in the Navy, handing the flyers. I went to the gym at the Navy base, handing out the flyer. We were pumping this fucking shit up. And at the time that we were pumping it up, there was like 12 fights, and like there was like 5 fucking phenomenal ones on there, and we lost like 3 of them in a matter of no time.
Yep.
And I'm like, of all the fucking fights that got to fall off this card, it's 2 of them that feature former UFC dudes, and Misfit Faria is going to fall off the card with Heather Hardy. Like, I was bummed, super bummed.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be an 8-fight night, but now it's an 11-fight night. So guess what? Ryan Reber's still here. Zach Kalma's still here. We got freaking Wolf is going to be on the card. Jimmy Rivera, Daniel Strauss, Sarah Click. Come on now.
Yeah, Chris Sorrow and Scott Roberts.
Scott Roberts. What about Watford? That got me hyped up. We talked to Watford last week with Casey. He hates that guy.
Pat Casey.
I don't even know if Casey hates him too, but Watford doesn't like him.
Yeah, Sam Watford. That's right. Yeah, man. So shout out to Louis Lopez for answering the call, and I was messaging back and forth with him, and he basically said it was a no-brainer for him. It's a guy, an Ultimate Fighter winner who's coming over to BKFC. At 155 pounds, Louis said he's basically right at that weight anyways. So fucking good for him, dude.
Yep.
You know what? Just makes it even sweeter for us up here in New England. I hope you guys are all, if you guys are local to us right now and you're in New England, I hope you get out to the Mohegan Sun, because the Mohegan Sun, we've been saying it the last couple of weeks. It really, truly is one of the best it's the nicest casino you'll go in. It's fucking phenomenal. The arena's awesome. The restaurants are awesome. The bars are awesome. So get out there and have yourself a time. It's going to be fucking awesome.
Do it.
Heard Heather Hardy pulled herself out due to brain damage. That is what she posted on Instagram.
That's what she said.
Too many concussions is what she said. I think I have brain damage, to be honest with you. I got like 6 concussions.
Yeah, you probably do.
Sometimes I hear myself talk stone sober, and then I, like when I watched that interview with Mundell, I sound fucking punchy.
You sound punchy? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I sounded a little like fucking like I had a drink or two, but I was stone sober in the fucking thing. So sometimes I watch those interviews.
It could be because we didn't eat since 7 a.m. during that video, and that was like 10:30 at night. So that could be what it is.
Oh, that could be it too.
Yeah, you just dragging ass is what we call it.
Yeah, dragging ass. So hey, right. Shout out to Jeremie Holloway, Brandon Meyer, and Eduardo Peralta for coming on
tip
tonight.
For the night. Here's a quick tip. Pay like more than $10 for your internet. I don't know. That's my tip for the night. That's it. I don't pay that much for my internet. What the hell is going on?
But sometimes, dude, sometimes you just get off the Wi-Fi and go 5G, and you probably got a better fucking connection. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we get crystal clear fucking.
I haven't had internet the way we saw internet tonight since fucking 2001. Okay, like I don't even know what these. I had better internet at 56.
What does punchy mean?
Shit's crazy.
Corey Rivera, what does punchy mean?
Shit's crazy.
Punchy is like Rocky Balboa. I've been punched too many times in the head. You know what I mean? It's fucking. You sound like you've been punched.
This.
Yeah, because I know.
I don't think Kyle sounded that way. I don't, but maybe.
Well, sometimes
maybe I'm just used to it.
Yeah, you're used to it. You hear it all day, every day.
He lulls me to sleep with his punchy talk.
His punchy talk. Oh, man. Anyways, hey, no show tomorrow night because it is fight week, and we're going to go do some things with the fighters. If you're around, get to Mohegan Sun, and if you're going to go to the Mohegan Sun this weekend, stick around after the fights. Come up to Tom's Watch Bar and hang out with me and Mike and all our people, and it's going to be a fucking blasty blast. Right, Mike?
Yes, and if your fucking car is shit in the bed and the radiator's blown, definitely try to drive 20 hours to get here to see the fights. Definitely worth it. Yeah. Don't quit. If you quit, you're a bitch.
He's talking about fucking. He's talking about Russ Maxim and our boys from the BKFC Extreme BKFC fans page. The guys that do so much for this show. Russ has had himself a day.
I would just stop right there. You understand? You know what I'm saying? If I had a 20-hour drive ahead of me and my car broke down like within like 4 or 5 hours, Trip's over. I'm going home, motherfucker. I'm not coming. I'm going back home. I don't even care if I got my car fixed at that time. I'm going home. There's no way I would wait till the car got fixed. But you know what? Russ is a true fan. That's why he's extreme. He's Mr. Extra. And he doesn't care if he only made 3 hours or maybe less into a 20-hour drive and his car broke down. It doesn't matter. He's getting it fixed, and he's going to keep on driving. Unbelievable.
That's why he's the biggest fan in the world. That's why he's the biggest BKFC fan in the world. There's no one that matches his fan status. You see his car. You see he's got BKFC tattooed on his knuckles. Like the dude is through and through the biggest fucking fan, the biggest supporter of the BKFC and all of their fighters. And we can't wait to see him out here. Hopefully it's tomorrow, right? I don't know. Like, when do you think he'll actually show up in Connecticut?
Should be here tomorrow night, I would think.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next week, but make sure you're tuned into the fights this weekend, BKFC 61 at Mohegan Sun. Anything else, Mike?
Nope, I'm good, man. I'm good. We'll see you all this weekend.
Peace.
Peace.